Hello again. Some people are saying that the events of the last day or two mark a turning point in recent European history. Two things happened yesterday which are likely to have a very great effect upon policies relating to immigration in Western Europe. The first was, of course, the stunning success of Geert Wilders in the Dutch elections. Here is a man who wishes to ban the Quran in the Netherlands, accept no more asylum seekers into the country, and also wants the Netherlands to leave the European Union. Just the kind of person that the liberal establishment despises and accuses of being a right-wing populist and agitator. Ordinary people, though, that is to say the Dutch voters, have overwhelmingly chosen him to lead their country. This is a trend which is increasing in Europe and in France. The followers of Marine Le Pen will be watching closely to see what the implications are for their own chances. Even the Germans are now turning away from the immigration policies which their country has embraced for so long and which have led them into so much trouble and difficulties. What I personally found refreshing when listening to Geert Wilders was when he was talking about the number of Moroccan men who are responsible for rapes and other violent crimes in that country. He was being interviewed by a man who asked if it was possible that these young men were reacting to poverty or racism directed against them. Wilders said that he was not a psychologist or a sociologist and that he didn't care why they were behaving in that way. He was just determined to stop them from doing so. This is very interesting to hear somebody with such a pragmatic view, while everybody else is agonising about class and income and poverty and welfare and all the rest of it. Geert Wilders simply wants to put a stop to certain things. Looking now at the events in Ireland, we remind ourselves that just a few days ago we saw Muslim organised marches and demonstrations there relating to the war in the Middle East. It's all well and good being keen on Islamism and making a show of your liberal credentials, but there is a downside to encouraging this sort of thing, because of course what happened in Israel last month can so very easily be happening in your own city a few weeks later. A lesson which many Dubliners seem to be absorbing last night. I note that those protesting about the lax immigration policies in Ireland, which are positively encouraging immigration to that country, are being described in newspapers and on the television news as far right, as though only a neo-Nazi would be likely to object to the destruction of his nation's historic identity in the way that Irish people are now witnessing. In the description of this video, I give a link to a piece which I had published on this very subject a few weeks ago. What is happening in Ireland and the Netherlands carries a message for the British too. It is that it is possible for people to say no. That when things go too far in the wrong direction, we don't need to put up with them anymore. I'm certainly not advocating violence of the kind seen in Dublin, but if that discontent were channeled instead into political action, then perhaps we might see a change in voting patterns of the kind that the Netherlands woke up to yesterday morning. The fact that immigration is now running at over 600,000 a year in Britain is obviously quite mad and very unpopular with the average man or woman in the street. All across Europe, people are digging their heels in and saying no. We must hope that this mood spreads to this country and a few more people here also start saying no to further immigration. Apropos of which, it's interesting to see Nigel Farage on the television programme I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. There are rumours that he's on the verge of rebooting his political career and with a view to a general election being held next year, possibly in May, Nigel Farage might be planning to return to England and set out his stall, either with a new party of his own or possibly by supporting the Conservatives. I have a suspicion that the time is probably ripe if somebody like Geert Wilders can end up with an electoral triumph in the Netherlands. I can't see any reason why Nigel Farage couldn't do something of the sort in this country.